Hello guys, Ivan here. Thank you for joining me today. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the subscription bell. Today we're talking about Edward Bernays, 1891-1995. In my opinion, he's been the most consequential, influential psychologist in the world, on the planet, in the whole history of mankind. His work, his influence led to millions of people dying in different wars or different illness like cancer. Here's a few of his main influence. At the beginning of the First World War, World War One, the American public was totally against going to war. So he was hired by the US government to change the opinion of Americans, which he did. He demonized Germany and other countries and basically turned around the opinion, and by the time he was done, Americans wanted to go to fight in Europe, as opposed to before he brainwashed people. Nobody wanted to get involved with that. And therefore millions of people died, thousands and thousands, hundreds of thousands of Americans died in that war. Another example was, of course, he helped a brand several tobacco companies make it fashionable for to smoke. Tobacco companies realized that they were only selling their cigarettes to half the population. The women back then didn't smoke. So Bernays brainwashed them into thinking that smoking was healthy and an act of freedom. It was an emancipation to them. How did he do that? Well, he used medical association to tell people that having a cigarette for women to smoke was a good thing, because instead of having a snack or a candy, it was better to smoke a cigarette. It was healthier, and it helped them curb their appetite and therefore stay thin. He also used women association in a famous parade in New York to smoke in public, because they were the influencers of the day, and they called cigarettes freedom torches, because smoking for women was basically making them free. We all know now that it was a lie, all lies, and that led to the death of probably millions of women by cancer, lung cancer, from smoking. He helped also a company, a bacon company, to he enlisted the help of medical association again to tell the public that having bacon for breakfast, bacon and sausage, bacon and eggs, was healthy. And now it's the staple. The American breakfast has bacon. He also helped the aluminum American company get rid of their byproduct aluminum fluoride salts, which is a very hazardous product, and they didn't know what to do with it. And with the help of Health and Dental Association, he convinced the public that it was healthy to put that in the water for their teeth. And we still do it today. He also helped a company called United Fruit Company take control of pretty much almost half the country of Guatemala, all the land, in order to basically enslave the population to work for them at extremely low wages. Today the company is still in existence. It's called Chiquita Banana Company. So his work, he published his most famous and influential book called Propaganda in 1928. And it's quite pretty interesting to see some of the chapters the name of the chapters of this book. The first chapter is called Organizing Chaos. So we see those techniques still used today by governments and companies, but government especially, where if you, for example, push one country to attack another and then come to his rescue when it's completely destroyed, you will not only make a lot of money rebuilding, but you will also look like a savior, and they will thank you for coming to their aid, even though you were the one behind the scene organizing the chaos, organizing the war against them. On the screen you can see a few of his most famous saying. For example, propaganda is the executive arm of the invisible government. So that's linked, of course, to the Tavistock Institute in London, the Rothschild Institute or family. So another one here, this one is in French, vous manipulez est mon métier. So basically, to manipulate you is my job. Those are some of the most famous one saying. We are governed, our minds are molded, our taste or form, our ideas are suggested. Anyway, other chapters in his book of 1928 reads like The Psychology of the Public, Women, Activities and Propaganda, Propaganda in Education. So here you have it, Edward Bernays, in my opinion, again, the most influential psychologist in all time, in the history of human beings. It's just what he did was really, really amazing. People like Stalin really read him and followed some of his ideas. For example, Bernays stated that the motion picture, the movies, were the most influential medium of the time, and Stalin did use those very effectively for his propaganda. So there you have it, Edward Bernays, a psychologist who influences us to this day. Everything we buy, everything we think we choose, or basically influenced by the different companies, the marketing companies working for big corporation and governments, of course. So quite an achievement, for good or bad, however we want to read it. He literally changed the face of the world we know. So there you have it. Don't forget to subscribe and let me know in the comments if you have any ideas for other videos. All right, bye bye.